Hey, everybody. We have a few things we'd like to do to wrap up the day before we get into our celebration. It's the Job CEO Council that is honoring us today by hosting our reception, and we're thrilled by that. But we can go no further without you acknowledging Stephanie Birmingham, who's right here, Director of Community Operations. So we're now pivoting to the Opportunity Awards section, and we're thrilled to have two honorees that have been identified leaders in New York for many, many years, and we also have designated awardees that came from the nominations directly from this coalition. And before we start with the award segment, do you want to let folks know where these awards have come from?
These are beautiful, beautiful awards made by BWI and Brooklyn Woods, right in Brooklyn. So
shout out right there.
Beautiful, yeah.
From the hands of workforce providers to the hands of honorees, that's what this is all about. Stephanie, anything you want to add for this particular audience before we bring folks out?
No, we're just excited to celebrate with you at the reception. So we'll see you then.
And on that note, it is our honor to introduce the first person who will be giving out an award tonight, and that is our friend, a true champion of New York City, Grace Bonilla. Grace, from the United Way of New York City, Grace, the floor is yours. We'll hold on to this.
Thank you. Well, good afternoon, everyone. It is a privilege to be with all of you at ETC's annual conference, one of the most important gatherings for anyone committed to building a more affordable, equitable, and opportunity-rich New York. And this moment is especially meaningful because I have the honor of recognizing someone whose name is synonymous with the city's economic life and its civic fabric and its future, Kathy Wild. If you've been following the news, I hope you have, you'll know that Kathy has been reflecting publicly on an extraordinary career and her upcoming retirement. Articles like the recent City and State profile trace the arc of a woman who has spent decades bridging worlds that don't always speak the same language, and business community, government, philanthropy, labor, and neighborhoods across all 5 boroughs. And she did more than bridge them. She made them sit together, work together, and build together. Kathy has always understood something fundamental. New York's economic health and New York's everyday well-being are inseparable. You cannot build prosperity at the boardroom if people in our communities cannot access opportunity, quality jobs, or pathways to stability. Her work was consistently reflecting that truth. She has championed policies that create jobs, strengthen industries, and prepare New Yorkers for a future of work. She has been a steadfast voice reminding the city that affordability is not an abstract talking point. It's a daily reality shaping every New Yorker's sense of possibility. And she has done all of this with the directness, brilliance, and grit that only a New Yorker can pull off. Many of us in this room, workforce providers, employers, advocates, government leaders, know how hard coalition building can be. And yet Kathy has done it for more than 4 decades, often in tense and uncertain moments for the city. She has been a person people call not simply because she knows what happens, but because she knows what needs to happen for New Yorkers. As the CEO of United Way of New York City, an organization rooted in community power and focused on financial security, workforce opportunity, and affordability, I stand here with deep gratitude. Kathy has used her platform to remind the city that economic development must translate into real lived improvements for workers, families, and communities that make the city run. Her retirement may mark the end of a formal chapter, but it certainly does not mark the end of her impact. Kathy has built an ecosystem of leaders, many of them here today, who are carrying forward her belief in a city where economic mobility is not the exception, but the expectation. And so, Kathy, on behalf of New York City ETC, the workforce community, our business community, and every New Yorker who has benefited from your relentless advocacy and clear-eyed leadership, it is my honor to present you with this award. Thank you for showing us what principled, courageous, and fiercely dedicated leadership looks like. And on my own personal note, thank you for being such a good friend.
Thank you, made in Brooklyn, like me. Happy to be here with all of you, and congratulations to Greg and the team and the leadership that has done so much with the employment training universe in the last few years. You really have made a tremendous contribution and turnaround. I've seen this industry, this sector of our city's nonprofit and for-profit communities really reach a new level of engagement with employers and of understanding the needs of our rapidly changing economy. I don't think it's ever been a tougher challenge than it is right now, which is something, I'm not telling you anything, but I think the fact that after many fits and starts, that employers and the service providers throughout the employment and training community are really working together with the universities, with each other, and having it's a different scene than I have seen in the workforce development area for many years. We were directly involved in this area when President Clinton announced the Welfare to Work programs. Remember that? Way back when. And the partnership stepped up for President Clinton to figure out how to help in that effort. But since then, I saw that there was, since there was presidential leadership on that front, we've moved to something else, which is not presidential leadership on that front, and it really, you didn't quite get it, so So I think for more reasons than ever, the importance of the partnership between the academic world, the community-based nonprofit employment training world, organized labor, and the employers, private, public, nonprofit, is really terrific. And I congratulate you on what is, I know, a very complicated infrastructure. My own experience was mostly in the housing area, and I always said we needed horizontal and vertical networks that were really working together to make things go, and that is very much true in the business you're in. So congratulations to all you've done, and where you are today and the leadership you're providing. I'm excited with the new administration because I think there's a real focus on accomplishment, getting things done. Hopefully we've gotten over the politics of the campaign and we're moving on to how to do it. I spoke yesterday to a group of leaders that were brought together by UJA at a retreat, and I said, those of us who are in this nonprofit business, service providing business, think of ourselves as mechanics. We're not philosopher kings, we're really doers, trying to fix what's broke, having a vision of what's possible, and getting it done. And I know every one of you who are in this sector, that's your commitment. I congratulate you on that. And finally, I want to thank Grace Bonilla, who is helping to lead the transition team for Mayor-elect Mamdani. She is a terrific leader. She's done a great job at United Way, and she's really now spreading her wings and providing tremendous input to our next city government. So thanks. I think it's an exciting time. The average age of, I was just reading Bruce Giori, a political analyst, wrote an analysis of the voting, and the average age break for the Mamdani supporters in the election was 45, so this is a new generation of leadership, and I think it's a terrific one and one that you all will have a great part in. So thank you for this award, much appreciated.
We have another award to present, and this one is going to be presented by a good friend and partner of the New York City Employment and Training Coalition. You may have heard from her at other convenings that we have had. Teresa Gonzalez, who is a partner at Bolton St. John, who is going to present award to New York State Assembly member Amanda Septimo. Teresa.
Good afternoon, everybody. Nice and warm in here, where I like to be. So I have the pleasure of introducing a dear, dear friend of mine, but I'll read her bio just to be consistent. And once you know her, to know her is to love her. So let me give you the official, and then I'll give you a little bit about her. Amanda Septimo, Assembly Member, represents Assembly District 84 in the South Bronx, which is where she grew up in Hunts Point. She started her work as a community activist at an early age at the Point CDC. You'll hear a lot of Bronxness here. She's really been committed to community, and it not only shows in her personal life, but in her work. She interned with Congressmember Juan Serrano and later returned to become the district director, where she spent years connecting with fellow South Bronx residents to connect them to elected officials in DC. I don't know if she'd want to do that now, but here we are. She went on to become to work with the New York State Nurses Association and the Council of School Supervisors and Administrators to help uplift and fight for labor rights. She saw a need for more leadership in the South Bronx in the community she was from, so she would eventually go to run for the assembly seat and lose, and then run again and win. Amanda has done so much for community. Most recently, she was able to secure $30 million for efforts around supporting the Latino community called Lucha, and I had the pleasure of working with her on that, first of its kind. She successfully recently also pushed for the inclusion of the Puerto Rican flag at the 9/11 Museum and Memorial, which wasn't included in the flag lineup before. She secured $130 million for the redevelopment of Hunts Point Produce Market and a $10 million pilot project for the redevelopment of the meat market. She is a tried and true Bronx native who, as a Latina and as her friend, makes me proud every time she speaks and every time she represents her community. But you see from the official story how committed she's been, and I'm now going to let her tell you and show you herself how committed she is, so continues to be committed to her community and beyond. So with that, I'd love to welcome and present Assemblymember Amanda Septimo with the 2025 New York City Employment Training Coalition Opportunity Award.
Hi, everyone. It's great to be here with you. How are we doing? All right. Every time that you receive an award, it's sort of a mind-bending experience. Politics is certainly a thankless business, and it can feel that way. So anytime people stop to acknowledge the work that we do, it really feels like a privilege, because so much of this work involves stepping up to represent a place that I love, a place that I've had the privilege of calling home and the privilege of representing on the state level for 5 years now. And that place is the Bronx, surprise. But the Bronx is really a place that is sort of notorious. I've gone to other parts of the world, and I mention the Bronx, and people know it very well. But they don't know it for all of the things that I know make it great. They know it for all of these other reasons, for the stories, for the narratives that are sort of told about our community and forced on our community, but that leave out the reality that our community is actually in the situation that it's in because of decades of underinvestment, decades of under-resourcing, and decades of policy decisions that choose to prioritize one area or another, but always managing to leave the Bronx behind. And this award is especially special to me because so many of you represent the actual work that it will take to continue to change the story of the Bronx. And I say continue because we have certainly made some progress, but we have a ways to go. And ultimately, what we need in the Bronx is access to opportunity. We need people in the Bronx to have the same opportunity to thrive and succeed as New Yorkers all over the city. But millions of times over, every single day in the Bronx, there are people whose story is locked into a system that is consistently working against them. Whether that system is a system of food insecurity that exists at large, whether it's generational poverty, underinvestment in education, the list goes on. There is a systematic keeping out of opportunity for Bronxites. And the work that you all do interrupts that, interrupts those cycles over and over and over. And at the core of the Bronx's promise, but also at the core of its undelivered promises, is the lack of access to economic opportunity. And that starts with being prepared for the future. What is the future of opportunity? What is the future of work? What is the future of the economy? And how can we prepare people for it today so that in 50 years, when we're talking about the Bronx, it's a different story. It's a story of how we turned it around and how we used our community to serve as the model for how, when you meaningfully invest in people and you meaningfully invest in pathways, that you actually can materially create success. I know that I'm preaching to the choir because so many of you do this work every day. So I am honored and humbled to receive this award. And I want to say thank you, but especially thank you to all of you for being incredible partners and helping us write a better story for the Bronx every day. Thank you.
Let's get another round of applause for both Kathy Weil and Amanda Septimo, Assemblymember Amanda Septimo. Definitely a first day to round up all our important conversations with additional opportunity awards. So we're gonna call a few additional leaders that have exemplary and have driven meaningful progress in expanding pathways to prosperity in their own communities and in their work every single day. So the first person I'm proud to call, dear friend of mine, her name is Carrie Faulhaber from Jobs First NYC.
Congratulations.
Thank you. The next person we're going to highlight today with a 2025 New York City Employment and Training Coalition Opportunity Award is Dr. Simone Rodriguez from Kingsborough Community College. Here you go. Now joining us on stage is Shauna Williams from Goddard Riverside. Congratulations. Now with us will join us for the Opportunity Award, Kiana Daniels for Kindred Bakery BK.
Too busy clapping. Congratulations.
And last but not least, and please, for those that are joining us tomorrow as well, please make sure that you stay because we do have additional individuals that we're recognizing with the Opportunity Award for this conference. And last but not least, for today, is Sky Aponte, Monadnock Construction, Inc.
And can we just give another round of applause for all of these bad, dope women on the stage right now? A powerhouse, can you hear me? It's something to be said. You got, what's the saying about if you want to get something done, you need to have a woman by your side? Well, they're in front. They're not even by the side. They lead in the pack. So congratulations again.